Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome to another Short Shifts episode with Toph, Christopher, Ryan, Scott, Jeffrey J. Hulavecchio here on the mic beatboxing. In case you guys didn't know, every Wednesday our episodes are supported by Skate Tech. Skate Tech skate sharpening equipment repair brings you NHL quality service at an affordable retail price. With over 23 years of sharpening and equipment customizing experience, Skate Tech serves as your personal equipment manager, providing the highest quality skate sharpening, blade profiling, team unis, and equipment alterations available on the market today. Let Skate Tech help you take your on-ice performance to the next level with the edge the pros trust. Check them out at skatetech.com. Just kidding. SkateTechSharpening.com.
.com again.
I got excited.
Okay, we got our Wednesday short shifts. Jeff Lavecchio has no idea what the topic is, but should he choose to accept, we're going to have a nice little conversation here. Vex, you ready to rock and roll, brother?
Hit me.
Okay, so this has been a topic that's been talked about a little bit over the NHL playoffs here, and that's losing leads. So let's talk about defending a lead in the third period. Let's talk about defending a lead in a third period and what the mentality is coming out of that locker room. You got a 1-goal lead, you got a 2-goal lead, so it's a tight game. What's the message in the locker room going in for the third period? Do you change anything up or do you go as is? What are your thoughts on defending a lead going into a third?
I know you're not going to like this because I do it every single time. However, is this playoffs or regular season?
Is there a difference?
I mean, if it's game 7, Stanley Cup Finals, and I'm up 2 goals, I'm probably playing a little different than a game in November, like whatever.
Okay? Like, let's dive into that. Why would it be different in like a big game versus a regular season game?
Well, if it's the elimination game or something, like you got to win. I don't know. You absolutely have to win.
But you don't have to win in the NHL in the regular season?
No, you don't.
What's the alternative?
One random game. I mean, you play 82 games. You're down to up to whatever.
Okay, so tell me the difference. Like, how would you approach it in a regular season game like that? And then how would you approach it differently in a playoff game?
Well, I would just say, game 7, like an elimination game, something like that. Or I don't know. It also depends on who's on the roster, what type of forecheck are you running. I'm getting way too into the weeds. Basically, I'd be saying step on their throat. Like, we need to make them quit. We need to make them quit. Absolutely need to make them quit. But also, if we're at the highest level, I'm thinking, well, who are we playing against? What style are they playing? What type of players do they have? What are their strengths? How can we quell those strengths and step on their throat at the same time? You like that? It's probably a corner word. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think there was a 9er in there. I basically don't let them get any life. Don't let them get any life. Let's keep the puck in their zone. Let's make them work for every single inch they have. If anyone takes a bad penalty that's not in our zone, you're going to get throat punched, like not allowable. Like do not give them any momentum. We are up to let's step on the jugular.
You're going to get throat punched. I don't know why I thought that was so funny.
Idiot.
Okay, well, interesting. So what's the message in the locker room? Like, what are you saying to the fellas before you go out for the third period? 1-goal lead.
Oh, 1-goal lead. I thought you said 2-goal lead. 1-goal lead.
1 or 2.
It's a big difference. Like I said, we make them. Well, I never want to say things that are in that way. I wouldn't say make them earn everything, but basically along those lines. Like, do not give them anything. Do not give them life. Do not give them a spark. No bad penalties here. Like, let's play in between the whistles. None of the shit after. Don't let anybody suck you into anything. Let's make them have to go the entire length of the ice. No bad turnovers, no gimmies, nothing like that. If we're, on the blue line and you don't know, like, we're up a goal here. Like, let's be smart. Let's put it deep. Let's make them have to go the whole length of the ice. Let's keep the pressure on. Let's take their energy out of it. And like I said, like I always used to say in the locker room between periods going to the third, like we need to step up. I would say it with more cuss words, but like we need to step on their throats.
Yeah.
Like time to step on their throats. Let's make these guys quit. Don't let them even think they're in this game. Make it hard for them, basically.
Yeah. I like what you're saying. I feel like the messaging really matters, and there's two different ways to do it. One is like the positive and one's like the negative. Like that we should do this versus don't do this. So I think coaches get in trouble when the message is don't turn the puck over.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yes.
Like don't whatever, like no bad penalty. Like no bad penalties is probably not that bad, but like don't turn the puck over. It should be like play smart, be disciplined.
Yes.
Put it behind their heels rather than like don't turn it over.
Right.
So because when you start, I think that's really important. When you start to say don't, that's what gets in your head. Like that's when you start to visualize. You're visualizing. Don't turn it over. What am I going to do? I'm going to think about turning it over.
Yes.
And
law of attraction.
More stiff. Where I like what you said. Like let's step on their throats here. Like let's make them quit. I think that's a different message. Then don't mess it up.
Yeah, don't mess it up. Yes, no, and it's a completely different vibe. And what Toph just said, like that's getting into like some awesome, visualization, mindset, law of attraction type of stuff. That's what I was trying to say. Just completely like an idiot. And Toph is smart. I'm stupid. You're good looking. I'm not. Toph was way better with his words than I am today. That's the message I was trying to say. Don't be saying don't turn it over. It's much better. Make sure it gets in, make sure it gets 10 feet at least inside the blue line versus don't do this, don't do that.
The other thing too is I feel like in the third period, and I probably say this, you know what? I don't say this too much because I do think that that's important. Like it just comes back to identity. I think the coaches who try to change everything in the third period and play this completely different, maybe in like the last 2 minutes or something like that. But like, we got to go into this shell of who we are and we got to make sure that they don't score and all this kind of stuff. It's like, well, no, like what's in the DNA of your club? If you're an aggressive club and that what makes you really, really good, you got to still continue to play that way. That's what's going to make them quit. And so, yeah, it's like going back to identity, like we got to continue to play who we are. We can't can make some adjustments here and there, make maybe some little ones, talk about putting it behind their heels, make them go 200 feet at the older levels. But like it's got to still go back to identity at the end of the day. You have to be who you are as a team.
Right. Just, yeah, it's a hard question because I'm thinking of it at such a high level, and I'm like, yeah, I would tell the D, like if we're a team that pinches, like, yeah, I still want you pinching, but forwards, you better make sure that you're covering for them. Like let's be smart with our pin, or just be really smart with your pinches. Like, but you don't want to say stop pinching, don't pinch. And I'm exactly what Toph's saying. I hated playing on teams where we're up by a goal going in the third, and now we're gonna sit back and we're not gonna do anything. And it's like, well, now everybody's like changing. Now you're probably thinking a little bit more when you're going out there, so you're not reacting as fast and you're not playing to your team identity, which is probably why you have the 1 or 2 goal lead. And then that usually winds up backfiring because it's like coming from like a scared place versus like, I believe in us. Like we're going to get this done. We're going to finish them.
That's why the message is so important. And I also think the message has to be the player's message. Like this is your group, like come together and finish the job. You guys have worked this hard to earn the lead. You guys have done the right things. Let's continue to put the foot on the gas pedal here. And if we need to make an adjustment, you don't say this, but if you need to make an adjustment, you can make an adjustment. But let's make sure that we're playing to our identity. We're playing to our strengths. And how many times, especially in youth hockey, like you see it where a team will just sit back all of a sudden. And try to defend the lead. And it's like, okay, well, we're just going to chip the puck in. We'll go play in your zone the whole time. Awesome.
Right.
As opposed to like we talk about it a lot. The most frustrating thing for an offensive player is what? It's to play a shift in your defensive zone. That is the most frustrating thing as a skilled offensive player is when you have to play in your defensive zone. And so when you have a lead, what better way to suck the will out of another team than to play in the other team's zone? Get an offensive zone change, extend the shift so those players are out there for a minute 15, and then they, got to get back to the bench and they just lost an entire shift and they might only get 3 or 4 more, and so when you have shifts like that, usually it compounds and you're done for the next couple shifts too, because you don't have the energy.
Mister, get me out of here. I don't want to be in my D zone. I don't want to be in my D zone. Let me fly. I'm a peacock.
Do peacocks fly?
God, what movie is that where he's talking about I'm a peacock? Is that Mark Wahlberg who's talking about that? I can't remember what movie that's from. If we got a listener who knows what that's from, I'm pretty sure it's a Mark Wahlberg quote. But anyways, I love what you said, guys. I'm going to apologize here. I was terrible in the beginning. Toph saved me. He knew what I was trying to say, but just that's what he was trying to say also. And my words sounded like somebody chewed them up, spit them out, and then I tried to read it. Toph, A+, Jehu, F- today.
All right, everybody.
Time's up.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.